Window panes lined with plastic water bottles. You only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got the cash in my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. I felt the floorboards scream. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Window panes lined with plastic water bottles. You only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got the cash in my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. floorboard screen. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Window panes lined with plastic water bottles. Only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got some cash in my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. I felt the floorboard scream. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. with plastic water bottles. You only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got the cash in my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. I felt the floorboards scream. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Window panes lined with plastic water bottles. You only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got the cash in my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. I felt the floorboards scream. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Fiction. Window panes lined with plastic water bottles. You only took a few sips out of them. Brand name, but you bought the floor model. Standing guard by the sliding glass door. I got the cash on my car. Got some room in the garage. I cut your picture out with my scrapbook scissors. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Warm light fills a mason jar. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner. I heard the birds from the neighbor's yard calling out from the sliding glass door. I saw the bed sheets breathe. I felt the floorboards scream. I pulled the story out from a work of fiction. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Everything's filled with holes. Everything is see-through. Everything's filled with holes. I guess I'm see-through too now. Window panes lined with plastic water bottles.